G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So as you know, I try to be completely transparent. So I want to show you a huge negative about having matten filters. Now, mine aren't your traditional matten filters. I think they're called matten filters. I should probably Google it. I'm not very good at names for things. Matten. But I should have Googled it before I started filtering. Matten filters. Matten filter. Yeah, that's the right word, matten filter. So mine aren't traditional, but the same theory. So I'm going to show you what really sucks about them. It's going to be dirty and messy, and it's going to entail a filmer. So I might try get my wife to film, but I don't know if she doesn't know that yet. But she's standing right behind me and wait, in front of me, behind you guys, and we'll try to get her to film because I don't think this is even really a tripod video. But basically I need to strip some African cichlids, and my rule with the matten filters is when I put new fish in the tank, I have to clean the filter because the matten filter divides the tanks, and I can't clean it unless there's no fish in one side, if that makes sense. So when I'm moving like when I have the fry in the tank, when the fry grow big enough and I move them around, I have to use that opportunity to clean the matten filters, otherwise they're never going to get clean. Because, does that make sense? It's a divider. So without further ado, let's go have a look in the fish room. Alright guys, camera climatized, glasses climatized. So here's an interesting thing. I don't mind wearing glasses at all ever. It doesn't really bother me, except for in the fish room. I hate when they fog up, and it's like I would actually consider getting eye surgery just because of how much I hate the fogging in the fish room. Just like this, see how the camera's fogging back up? My glasses do the same. So step one, take all the lids off, and I'll show you the filters and explain them before we start cleaning them. Alright, so basically what happens is there's these sponges, and they're the full depth of the tank. They go all the way to the bottom, and there's pipes there that suck the water through there. It goes through that filter there, down here, through that, what do you call that? That's called fly wire, across and back up, and through again, and you get the idea. So there's fish on that side and there's fish on this side, and they're two different types of fish. Generally I try and keep them the similar size, because if they get through they won't get killed, because occasionally the smaller fry do get through. So what I'll do is, like, the bigger ones will stay in this side and then the smaller ones will stay in this side. But so step one, we've got to drain some of that water into this tub. One big problem is you need a big tub to clean these, because there's actually plastic rods in these and I can't scrunch them up into a bucket. So I'll fill that up with water and then I'll be back. Alright guys, so now it's time to pull the matten filter out. This is the downfall. So when you clean these filters, you can't expect to get all of the debris. You can only get a percentage, and I'll show you why. Are you ready? So you got to try and get this out pretty swiftly, and that there is the negative of these filters. So now what I'll probably do like a 70% water change on these tanks, because obviously you want to try and get rid of a lot of that stuff as well. I have heard of people like putting a plastic bag in the tank and wrapping them in a plastic bag, but I think mine are too big to try and attempt that. So this is just what happens. So even though it is as dirty as it looks, when we put the filter back in, it'll pick that up. And I would say we're still getting rid of like 70 to 80% of the debris in the filters. It's just that bit that looks really bad. While we're here, I'm going to pull this out as well. and we'll clean those 2 filters. Hey look, it's those rip-off air stones that I don't like. I don't know if you guys can see them. But alright, maybe we should change those air stones while we're here. Alright guys, so once you get them out, the reason I use a tub is because I can just drop them in like this and then drain them. This is coarse sponge, so it doesn't hold the debris very well, so it's quite easy to get the debris out. I can't scrunch these up because there's actually plastic rods in them. Like I said before, if you're an OG subscriber, you'll actually would have seen the video when I put the rods in these. There's actually they're plastic coat hangers in there that I've cut up. I can't even remember where they are. I think they run like an X through the middle, but I don't want to snap them, and they do snap easy. So that's a little tip if you are making matten filters. Get plastic coat hangers and put them in there. Alright, they're ready to go back in. Now just got to clean the tank. Alright guys, check out the floor. Disgusting. So now you this mess, you can kind of see why I make that rule of cleaning the matten filters when I move fry around. So obviously I wouldn't go doing every tank in one day. Well, I could, but it'd just be too much. So basically what I did here, I let the tank settle for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe longer actually. I went and did some extracurricular activities and then came back and did a vac. So I've got like majority of the big debris. Now it's basically just like the light waterborne stuff left in there, which I'm pretty happy to leave that in there. I don't really want to do much more water change than what I've done here. And also I'm not cleaning that filter there. We'll keep that old. Old filters are good filters. Sometimes you don't want to clean them all at once. So now we're going to put these mattens back in, which is also going to be a dirty process, but figure out what way they go. I can't remember. I should have taken notes. Pretty sure that way. I might try to get them a bit straighter than they were before too. So like the problem I have here is I've made them slightly bigger than they need to be, which I thought was a good idea in theory, but later learning that it was probably a better idea to make them the exact size and put some suction cups or something if they did move around. They're not much bigger, they're like 10 mil bigger, but it causes them to bow like that. But that's alright. Sometimes practicality is more important than looks. I remember this one because it had that melted plastic bit at the top. I am going to have one problem here. I've got to wait. I'm 99% sure I got all the fish out, but I'm going to have to wait until it completely clears, because if there's one fish left in there, whoa, almost fell over. How loud was that for you guys? I almost smashed that tank with the camera. I don't like this one, it's way too tight. I don't have the means to trim it down, and even if I trimmed it down now, I think it would stay bowed and have gaps because it's been in there for so long, that bowed. So all these tanks, they pretty much drain into this one, but I do have a rule. All of the tanks here, I don't put any bought fish in, I only put personally bred fish in, because if I put new fish that I get off somebody in here and it has a disease, it'll infect this tank. So also, the Polini's new, so I took the water change system off of it that tank will go a couple of weeks without a water change, no worries. Just till I'm confident. Well, actually that Pellini's moving as soon as I'm happy that I can move it. So next up, I gotta fill that tank back up. So it's time to fill it back up. Shout outs to the gyre changer. This thing is handy. What was my next point? Alright, so I'm gonna have to do another vacuum on this tomorrow to get a bit more debris out. I've just cleaned the tank, so it'd be nice to get them looking completely fresh. So tomorrow I'll only vac low enough to as low as those pipes, so like 1 inch from the top of the water level. Basically, see the standpipe, I'll pretty much drain to where it is now. That way I don't have to put the gyre changer back in. It can just be like a quick 20-second vacuum. Probably longer than 20 seconds, but you get what I mean. So then, yeah, look at, so there is my, that's just my problem with the matten filters. The tank looks like this when you're finished. In saying that, tomorrow this tank will look 10 times cleaner than it did today before I started. So if you do have matten filters, don't be disheartened when you clean them. It's a negative, but it's a good negative. I definitely think the positives outweigh the negatives in this situation, but I don't think there's enough people out there, turn that off, that talk about the negatives. So, job done. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap that one up there. I do have a little repair to do on that tank. The fly screen is lifted. I've got some underwater silicone somewhere that I've got to find, and I've got to try and patch that. But I'm going to wrap that up there. If you like this video guys, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit that little red button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.